Algebra 2 students, we're starting in our complex numbers quadratic syllabus, and we are starting here with Tier 1, Lesson 1, so let's check off our book. It's solving simple quadratics. Recall that when we solve quadratics, we want to use the zero product property, and we want to set both of our factors equal to 0. So let's start with this one, and we'll start by factoring. And remember, we want factors of C that add to B. We have 1 and 18, we have 2 and 9, 1 and 18 add to 19, 2 and 9 add to 11, we have 3 and 6, that adds to 9, that's our factors. So we got x plus 3, x plus 6, and again when we solve we want to use the zero product property. We want to set both things inside the factors equal to 0, and then solve for x, and then we get x equals -3. And on this one we get x equals -6. Now we could also use the quadratic formula on this, because you could always use the quadratic formula. And if you remember, the quadratic formula is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So our a is 1, our b is 9, our c is 18. So we would go -9 plus or minus the square root of 9 squared minus 4 times 1 times 18 all over 2 times 1. So to simplify this, we would get -9 plus or minus the square root of 81 minus 72 all over 2. Simplifying what's inside the radical, we're going to go -9 plus or minus the square root of 9 all over 2. We all know the square root of 9 is 3. Simplifying further, we're going to go -9 plus or minus 3 all over 2. -9 plus 3 over 2 is going to give us -6 over 2, which gives us -3. -9 minus 3 over 2 is going to give us -12 over 2, which gives us -6. And as you can see, these two solutions correspond with that solution and that solution. Again, we want to use the quadratic formula, -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. To solve this, our a is 2, our b is -3, our c is 7. Instead of -3, we're going to have +3, because that's the opposite of b, is what the negative means. That's how I think of it. And we're going to -3 squared minus 4 times 2 times 7 all over 2 times 2. So as we simplify this, we're going to get 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 56 all over 4. So simplifying this, we're going to get 3 plus or minus the square root of -47 all over 4. And now that we have a negative here inside of our radical, before this unit we would always say no real solutions. The real part's the important part, because now we're going to show you how to find the imaginary solutions in this unit.